Hidey-ho, Internet. Well, I guess it's appropriate that my head looks like something of a giant pineapple because we're talking about Fantasy Island, the 2020 release. Now, I am going to admit, one, that I have never seen a Fantasy Island episode. I had no idea what was going into this film before that. And two, I am refilming this review because I forgot to give it a rating on my rating system in the last video. So I had a perfectly fun video, and then, I forgot something at the end. But that is how the cookie crumbles. And, when you're as big as I am, you know about cookies and crumbles. And you know that when the cookie crumbles, you just put it on top of ice cream, and then you have ice cream with your cookie. So, it's even better. Yes? Yes? Okay, so we're ice cream and a cookie right now. Okay, so Fantasy Island. There is a resort. Yes, run by a weird guy. And if you go to this resort, you go to this resort and you get one fantasy. Whatever it is. If you want to bang Miley Cyrus, then you can do that on this island. Let's be honest with you. It would be the closest thing to doing acid and having sex without doing acid and having sex. It would be banging Miley Cyrus, I'd assume. Because that chick seems like she's, batshit crazy, but I digress. So, so this group of people gets up on the island to go out there and live about their fantasies, and you've got the dude and his gay brother. You've got the chick that turned down a marriage proposal. You've got some chick that was tortured for her young life and wants to get out there and get some revenge. And yes, okay. Oh, and you've got a dude who always wanted to enlist in the military but never did because he promised his mom he wouldn't because his dad died there. All right? So you've got this bizarre mix of people coming around and being part of the island. And, of course, if you've seen the trailer, you know that this is a crappy horror movie. So this is like the genie's wish sort of a thing. In fact, while I watched this movie, I was thinking that this was a lot like Pumpkinhead. So, if you do recall the story of Pumpkinhead, which was an old horror movie back in the day, with Lance Hendrickson, or whatever the name is, he has his son killed, and then summons a demon for revenge, and realizes as he experiences what the people he's getting revenge against experience, that revenge isn't all that great. So he makes a homemade flamethrower and fights off the demon, and that's the story of Pumpkinhead. I'm not spoiling the end there. But let's face it, you should have seen that movie by now. So Fantasy Island is, you get your fantasy, but it turns out to not be. Why is there a damn airplane? Your fantasy turns out to be not what you had hoped. And, bad stuff. So obviously. And yes, this is a movie that has a crappy plot twist, which I don't want to reveal because it's there. Some people will be like, oh, that's awesome. But it's like, no, this is not an awesome movie. This is just a dumb movie because that plot twist is like, no. This chick does things that are just for the audience. So the plot twist is meant to surprise us, not the characters, but us. So no, I don't care for that. And while we're on that subject, the gay guy, kudos to them for giving him an ethnicity, but the gay ethnicity is a little done. And then further along the lines, why is it he's into very stereotypical men? I've known a lot of gay dudes in my life, and, this dude would not be the most attractive gay dude because he doesn't feel like he's not quite a twink. I think they call them twinks. And it's like, Justin Bieber is a twink. Okay, a skinny, attractive dude. And that's like his thing, And, most twinks are in boy bands or look like they should be in boy bands, and that's like a twink thing. And some guys are into the more feminine guys who are twinks. And then it's like, some dudes are into really big hairy dudes, and they call those bears. And it's just, it's every person has their own flavor. Like, like I knew a guy who was into African American girls. Dark skinned girls were his thing. That's just the thing. So why is it this one gay guy, he's got such a stereotypical taste in men? I don't think that's a very proper interpretation of homosexuals. Because these guys he was screwing, they didn't look all that gay. They looked like they were just male prostitutes. Which maybe they should have been. But yeah, just side plot, side point. Side point to my gay audience. If you see this movie, tell me something. Should this gentleman have been offered more of a variety in terms of the men he was given the opportunity to bang? Because personally, as a man who is heterosexual, if I were on some kind of a weird sex island, I would want there to be variety, flavors, if you will. I would like there to be, a midget woman who is still hot, and then, like, a cougar or two. Mostly cougars, though. And, like, maybe a ballerina. And along with the ballerina, possibly, a thick girl or two. Just not every woman, I'm not into one particular thing, so I'd like there to be flavors. So I'm just wondering, do most men have a this is what I'm into and it's Alejandro, or are they into flavors too? Just, I've wondered, But set that aside. So we, in this film, learn that, you should let go of the past, you should grow up, and you should deal with it. And you should probably stop being a terrible person as you age. Because the past can still come back to haunt you. And no matter what happens, if you hurt someone in the past, never think you're clear of that unless you've apologized. These are good lessons. Unfortunately, the film does not pull those off well. It is kind of a hokey film that's just put together to be what it is. And as horror movies, it is a poorly executed concept. And I, again, have never seen the original Fantasy Island, but I'm told that it was not a horror movie. So if you're a fan of the film, you're going to be, or if you're a fan of the older versions, you're going to be a little disappointed. I can't be sure of that, but that's the vibe I'm getting. So yeah, Fantasy Island, it is definitely a watch if you're bored kind of movie. It is not a movie that you're missing anything if you don't see it. It is just kind of there. So yeah, that's my recommendation for the film. Watch it if you're bored. Probably wait till it's out of theaters or it's at the cheap house. But then again, hey, that's just my opinion. Love to hear yours. I'm Richard.
That's right, Randall the Rat here, and I'm back. Despite your best effort to be lazy, Richard, the owner of this channel, is still going to pay for a pound of trash to be removed from the ocean for every 1,000 subscribers after he gets monetized. He's paid for 2 pounds. He wants to pay for more. He wants to save the ocean at no cost to you. And what do you have to do? What do you have to do, lazy, disgusting, delicious human? You have to like this video and comment on it and encourage people to subscribe. Randall the Rat, could you come over? You look delicious. Come over. Maybe don't comment on this video, because then people will know you came over, and then I'll eat you and they'll know. Haven't had human in a while.